Wow. People are stealing my internet, Lee.
I know, but that's a good sign. I mean,
Right?
it's not so good for the broadcast,
Well,
but
I
it's
guess.
great for this.
Yeah.
Great for what's happening
And
here.
we're getting a yellow light now. All right, we'll get through it as best we can. Wow, Sarnia staying up 2-0 right now, as you can see there. But lots of aggression going on here. But I got to say, I mean, I know we got the first goal in like 27 seconds in this first period, which was amazing. Del Belbaloo's showing up. No surprise at all there. But I got to say, I started to get a little bit nervous.
Yeah, I was too. It was a quick goal. It was a really nice play. It was the kind of play that I would like to see more of, where they're firing it out from around the blue line and then just picking up the rebound out front. But then, after that, it was kind of like it was all London there for a little bit. They were showing the aggression. They were showing the physicality, and we weren't giving it back. How we've always talked about that for some time now. We don't let people come into our house and push us around. It almost felt like for about the first half of that period, they were letting London push them around.
But then that quickly changed. We did see that happen. Boy, Dillingham getting in there. I mean, here's a guy, again, I think I have to change what I say, because I used to say, here's a guy who doesn't like to fight.
Yeah.
But he will. But he's always been stepping up in there, and he really stepped in there this time. He was ready. Like, it looked to me like he was ready to go, come on, I'll take everyone who's on. He raised his arms up in the air and, like, let's go, and the crowd just went nuts over that.
And I don't think that had anything to do with him enjoying fighting.
No.
It was like we were just saying, we were getting pushed around, and we were letting it happen.
Yeah.
And Dillingham, he did that, I'll almost guarantee he did that just to get his team back in this. Just to tell him, boys, we're in this. Don't let him push you around. If they're going to be leaning on us, you lean back. Yeah. And that's what he did. And the fight itself didn't matter at all. What mattered was after the fight was over, when Dillingham got up, he motioned to the crowd, let's go, boys. And you could see it doing the same thing to his bench, getting his team fired up. He's like, let's go, boys. We're in this. Don't let him push us around. We're up at that point. We're up 1-0. I think I can't even remember. It's just kind of an exciting first period.
Breathe, Lee.
This is exciting. This is exciting hockey.
It
after
really
the first
is.
Couple of games,
I think what you're trying to say there, and I agree, there's a message that was sent.
Definitely.
Not just to London, but to his own team to say, come on, guys. Let's get in this. Let's let them know we're here to play hockey. We're seeing what we would probably call hunter hockey out there tonight for sure.
Most definitely. After that was kind of like, the turning point there. He flipped the switch on him. And ever since then, Sarnia's coming out, showing the aggression, not getting pushed around like they were in the first 10 minutes of that first period. Now we're seeing good hockey. We're still seeing good hockey on both ends. We're still seeing that aggression coming from London. But the great part about it, I don't know if you saw what happened there with Pastichov. 3 guys are all over him. Yeah. They're pushing him around. They're kind of throwing little shots at him. He sat there and took it. He was still out on the ice to play, and their guy was in the box. So they're playing smart about it too. Yeah.
Well, and I think they're kind of looking at each other, looking at London and going like, really, is that what you want to do? You want to play this way? Because we're here to play hockey. We're not necessarily here to fight. We want to keep the stick on the ice. We're here to score goals, and they know that they can't afford to do that against London, because this game, Game 3, really is critical to set the pace for the rest of the series.
Most definitely. This is like, it's almost in a must-win situation for Sarnia, and they're playing like they know that 100%.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, and I always say this, like I always ask you about the speed of that period. I thought it was pretty quick, but it felt like a really long 20 minutes.
It did, especially
it felt like 40 minutes.
Especially with how fast-paced that thing was. Like it was almost like the action never stopped through that whole period. But yeah, I agree with you. It did feel like that kind of period went on for a very, very long time. Not that I'm complaining, because that was an exciting period of hockey.
It definitely was. The officiating there, I mean, boy, there was it felt like some calls that weren't called, and then we were called right on us right away, and we're like, really? Like, you're not calling that, but you're calling this. And then even the fans were kind of chanting there for a little bit towards the referees.
I mean, it's getting to the point where it's like everybody in the stands is kind of asking, like, how many times does a London guy have to put their stick in somebody's face before the ref's going to decide to raise an arm? Yeah. Like, Pastichov took 3 sticks to the face in less than 20 seconds before an arm ever went up. And then finally it was so blatant he couldn't not call it that they finally called it. But it's like, it's questionable for sure. And like you're right, the crowd's letting them know. Yeah. It's not, these people in this crowd, biased or unbiased, they see what's happening out there.
I did feel too that at some points of this period though that they were just letting them play hockey. They weren't calling anything on either side when they could have, I think. But, we've always said the referees really set the tone for a game. And playoff hockey is different than regular season hockey. And we know, I think we'd have to say it's fair to, we expected to see the type of aggression that we've seen out on this ice, especially between these two rivalry teams.
Oh, absolutely. The London and Sarnia rivalry's been a thing since pretty much as long as Sarnia's been in the OHL.
Right.
And London's, like I said, that benchmark team, and they don't have any bigger rival than the Sarnia Sting, no matter how good or how bad either team has been from year to year. Nobody has, always been their biggest rivals.
It's all business when it's on the ice, but respectfully, there are some involved, like these two coaches have known each other for a long time too, and are somewhat, I would say they're friends, but when it's on the ice and on the bench, it's strictly business out there.
Oh, 100%, yeah. I mean, and that's what hockey's all about, at any level. You can have your best friend, you can have your brother across that line from you.
As it happens.
But as soon as that puck drops between whistles, it's your team is your brothers, and that guy on the other time, if he happens to share your name, if he happens to be, the guy who has dinner at your house every other Friday night.
Right.
When that puck's dropped, none of that matters.
We'll
it's all black and yellow.
We'll have the beer after the game or the whatever, right? We just wish we could have shown it, but the class of 2023, the draft, they were just introducing many of them out on the ice. Some really interesting and great picks out there for the upcoming season. I know it's a little further away yet there, Lee, but do you have any thoughts on what we can expect to see in the next year's season?
It's going to be interesting, that's for sure. Ever since the trade deadline this year, when they made all the moves they made and they brought in who they brought in, it's kind of almost like, I remember at the time I was feeling like they're trading away the future of this team
I know,
for a winning season.
You were rather annoyed.
I was a little bit annoyed at the time, but I mean, I wouldn't give up this season that they've had for anything.
No.
But there's going to be a lot of key guys sticking around. I think we got a good, and they've drafted some good players from everything I've read about them. So I like the future. What I was thinking at the time about they've traded away this future for one season, I see this team having a pretty decent future for a few years to come at least.
There's a lot of electricity in this room, and one of the things about coming into the next season after winning playoffs, if we can predict that, is people have an expectation. The bar has been set in coming into the next season. Doesn't always happen that way, but looking at what I've seen with the team that's still going to be here coming into next year, and who knows with trades and everything, but the draft that's coming along, I really think we could still be in for a strong season next year, whatever that looks like. Now, let's get a little further ahead. There's still, I'm sure the Sting are not thinking that far ahead tonight for sure, but somebody did say to me tonight, Jake Burry actually said to me, he goes, I just had an epiphany, he goes, this is what we've been working towards at least for the last 7 years, just with the staff and the team that's been here, the team that's changed over the last 7 years, to come to this point here, game 3 of round 3. And for the first time ever in franchise history, this is a huge milestone, not just for this team, but for this entire city.
Oh, absolutely. And, I mean, they got to be loving every minute of this, all the way right from the bench all the way to the front office, up in the media box. Everybody involved in this organization, like you said, this is what they've been building towards, and it doesn't happen overnight. And you can see that year after year, month after month. Like you said, right? They've been building towards this. This is our year. This is our moment. And this is our night, hopefully, and we can see what they can do.
I'm already looking at hotel rooms for Kamloops. I'm just saying, right now. All right, minute and a half away, and there's so much more Lee and I could talk about. We'll get to that at the end of this second period. Wow is all I got to say. But I feel like they're shifting gears out there. We're going to see another interesting 20 minutes of hockey. Live from the concourse with the Sarnia Sting, I'm David Burrows, and this is my friend Lee Bazeley. 1, 2, 3, go Sting, go!